So to solve these problems, I now am going to need to combine what I've done before, finding the molar mass, with for every statement. So it's in some regards like a two-step problem. So the first thing I need to do is I need to find the molar mass of Fe2O3. And when I look at my periodic table and the atomic masses, I find it's 159.7. So what I'm going to do then is write a for every statement with that. So my for every statement is going to be for every 1 mole of Fe2O3, there are 159.7 grams of Fe2O3. So that's going to be my first step. Where is this coming from? This is the molar mass, okay? That's the molar mass, comes from the atomic masses on the periodic table. Remember, the unit was grams per mole, so it's grams per 1 mole. So it's all my for every statement is always going to be this. So now I'm going to look at the problem and I'm going to say, okay, the problem tells me there are 2.1 moles of Fe2O3. So to go from 1 to 2.1, I multiply by 2.1, I multiply this by 2.1, and I get 335.37 grams of Fe2O3 for that one. So that's how I go about solving these. So let me go ahead and do the next one. So the next one says how many moles of KNO3 are in 356 grams of KNO3. So my first step, step 1, is find the molar mass. I find the molar mass of KNO3, and then I use that to write my for every statement. For every 1 mole of KNO3, there are KNO3 101.11 grams of KNO3. That's my first step. Notice I'm labeling the substance everywhere because as problems get more complicated, I want to keep things straight. Now it says there are 356 grams of KNO3. So to go from 101 to 356, I get 3.52 and multiply that by 3.52. How did I get that? I took 356 divided by 101.11. So now here I go times 3.52. And I get 3.52 moles KNO3. Next one. It says SRO. So my first thing is find the molar mass. I find the molar mass of SRO. So for every 1 mole of SRO, there are 103.62 grams of SRO. So that's step 1. Step 2 now is I'm going to take the information, 3.1 moles of SRO, I multiply by 3.1, and I get 321.22 grams of SRO for that one. Next, it says how many moles of Al2O3 are in 25 grams of Al2O3. So I find the molar mass of Al2O3. And then I write my for every statement. For every 1 mole of Al2O3, there are 101.96 grams of Al2O3. So now I look at my question and it says here 25, again I'm just changing color to make it clear, 25 grams of Al2O3. So to go from this to 25, I multiply by 0.245, 0.245. So I'm going to have 0.245 moles Al2O3. My next one. For every 1 mole of CaCO3, there are, it's going to round to 100. It's 100.9 grams of CaCO3. So now for 200, again, I'll change the color. I don't need to here, but I'll change the color for a second. So for every 200 grams of CaCO3, I multiply by 2. So here I multiply by 2, and I'm going to get 2 moles of CaCO3. Last problem here is SO2. So I find the molar mass of SO2, and I write my for every statement. For every 1 mole of SO2, there are 64.07 grams of SO2. So now I'm gonna go, oops, sorry about that. 0.52 moles of SO2 times 0.52 times 0.52, and I get 33.32 grams of SO2. So that's how I go about solving these with for every statements.